What y'all niggas know about the Dirty South? One time.
What's up, everybody?
Don't forgive me for I've said over and over again just to stay.
Damn, everybody's in here. What's up, Grumpy Chow Chow? Just need food, madam. That's all we need. Templar, what's up? Yeah, we're gonna have a good show. Michelle, what's up, baby? Andy Doom, good to see you. Noah Deck, do it. First off, my name's spelled with a C, E-R-I-C. Do myself and Dom Cicale coordinate the times to go live. You always go live right before Dom. Make sure to end show before Dom starts. No, honestly, no. I just come on at 3:30, and I've been on for a little over 2 hours before, but I don't do the marathon shows. It's called the man hour, really. That's about it. Bend over. Yeah, I kind of got to go with Dom too. What's up, Mark? Good to see you. Turned around and gave him more bricks. Ranger fan, what's up, my man? You got laid off today? I guess you got a drink. El Broco, EPT 305. I ain't talking about it. I ain't gonna talk about the one guy drive. What's up? What's up, Vincent? Joseph, what's up, my man? Frank, what's up, man? Joe's family got robbed. James Proctor did that shit. What's up, Wildflower Girl? Woodchuck Chuck, what's going on? Richie T, what's up, my man? Joy, good to see you. I haven't heard from you in a while. They don't have social clubs anymore in the Bronx. Bronx is a different world. I know a lot of Albanians in the Bronx. They used to do a lot of robberies. They locked up with one dude. They were going through like windows and stuff, like doing crazy type of robberies. Man. Big boy shit though. What's up, Carmella? Oh yeah. Hey. Yeah, we'll talk about that. He would have fucked them up. Dom would have listened. Yes. You know, he's a fuck. Dom's a nut. They snap like that, bro. You can see that. You see that in there, man. Red, what's up? Coming up, sipping too much booze to leave you confused. And if you watch the news, you see players in this game to lose. I'm forgetting left with Jack, Pretty Tony and Lance, and Luke Mel. Slugs, what's up? Joe DeVito, what's going on, man? Roy Cole fan, what's going on? Timothy, good to see you. Over and over again, just to stay on top. We call memory. All right, let's turn this thing off. Over and over get started. I'll tell you what, 50 Cent is hard, man. Especially, back in the day, 50 Cent. But yeah, anyway, good to see everybody today. Yeah, we're going to get into the this whole robbery shit, this social clubs robbery. And listen, I'm going to just tell you off the top what I think that I want to show. I got a couple videos to show you, and I got one you're going to like, Carmella, because you like the pug. Let me show you these videos first. Everybody better watch out because Sammy Gravano is boxing again. Look at this old bastard. Some of these crazy people. Oh, yeah, and then there's another video. Did you guys hear about them bikers who jumped that black guy in Indiana in the bar? I got the film.
I'm the best, and I know I'm the best. Bitch,
That's
you know I'm
Frank
the best.
Sammy. That's what he's doing himself.
I don't quit. I don't fold under pressure.
What Sammy say? He don't fold under pressure. Get the fuck out
I
of
don't
here,
fold
Sammy.
under pressure. I'm the best, and I know I'm the best. Bitch, you know I'm the best.
Get ready for Jeff Nader.
I don't quit. I don't fold under pressure.
Damn, Sammy. Let me remove that real quick. Then I got one real quick to show you. And then we're gonna get into Dominic Cicale stuff. This was for you, Carmella. Look at this crazy dog. I told you how Kylie is. She thinks she runs everything. So now the one Frenchie, Muggsy, she likes the pool too. And Kylie used to be the only one who went in the pool. And Haley just minimally. So now watch how Kylie acts.
You guys
Look.
You're overheating. You gotta get in there, honey.
So that's the Frenchie. That's Muggsy. She overheats
Kylie,
when she gets in. Now there goes Kylie. Now watch what she does.
All right, go back in.
I'm trying to make them get along. Kylie will force her out of there. Watch.
You make her get out. Why do you do
Now
that?
watch what she does. Because she's mad because she was in there.
You nut. What are you doing? You crazy? Now, why would you do that? Because you've seen another dog in there.
She's seen the dog in there and she went and did that. What's up, Roy Cohn fan? Would you say Dom's a straight killer? He comes in here and tells everyone. Always dangerous. Yeah, I was always fucked up. What's up, Angram? Oh, yeah. That was a while ago. Yeah, I'm doing all right now. I had to learn a lot, George. Good to see you. What's up, Angram? My bad for getting behind this chat. What's up, Mob Facts? Good to see you. Good to see you. I don't know, though. Listen, Mob Facts, I kind of disagree with that. I'm not saying Dom is going to kill somebody, but dude, he's got that. If you watch Dominic Cicale, bro, he's got that snap, and he'll snap fast. I'll tell you. Listen, look, big thing about Dominic, and he's look, he has something inside of him where he still believes that he wants to prove. I mean, you guys see it. You guys know what I'm talking about. So when you're factoring in also Mob Facts, you're talking about guys that were in the street, in prison, stuff like that. Now I understand he did whatever. But at the end of the day, his entire life is growing up and being involved in the streets and in prison. Obviously in prison, we're not getting disrespected, not taking no shit, just violence, reacting with violence, whether it's punching somebody in the mouth, whether it's shooting somebody. So, to come out, what's good, Lefty? So to come out like, and just any random person, especially, I could see like not killing him, but you know what I mean? I could see something happening. And especially the way as sarcastic as people are on here even. They might feel as though they could get away with that shit in real life. Lefty said Gunner and Honolulu Jeff are the new Bonnie and Clyde Robin social clubs is the word on the street. Well, they're not touching that Jeffrey Loman social club. What's up, Stacy? What's going on? They're not touching that Jeffrey Loman. He belongs to one. That's what he said. Yeah, he's getting ready for Nadeau. Yeah, Sammy's definitely a rat. You hear I said I won't fold under pressure. What's up, the truth? So yeah, but so we're gonna get into that. So what is going on? What do you guys think? What's up, Jay? What do you guys think? Do you think that these robberies really happen? Do you think that they really happen? Okay, here's the thing. Is it possible that somebody got either wrong information or trolled Gene Borrello and told him this, and then everybody ran with it? Because Dom made a lot of good points, especially about that guy Scott Bernstein and Jeff too. And Jeff's actually closer over here on the action, and has said, people have said Jeff does have people give him source and all, which I'm sure that guy Scott does too. But bro, just the time frame when Dominic broke that down, when he's like, okay, so it happens on a Sunday, and you're reporting it live Monday morning, like basically like, okay, so if something like this really happened, why are they going to get all the way down the line to this dude? Like everybody who's involved wouldn't have known what's going on yet. So, so I don't know. Like, yeah, what's up, Philly Mike? What's going on? So I don't know, man. It's just like, it seems crazy to me. What's up, Armand? I don't think nobody, Jay, I don't think nobody robbed the club. We'll talk about the banana one or whatever, because now they're saying it's Gambino one. But the one they got in question is this banana one. And I don't think nobody did. The reason why is because, look, man, Dom is from that neighborhood. He does know all them people and shit like that. And it's just like, it's your neighborhood. You'd be able to find out. And listen, guys, do not believe that guys that are still involved in the mob, even big drug dealers, stuff like that, just in the streets, don't believe that they don't talk to people who have told. Don't ever believe that, because they do. They do. You got to remember, a lot of these guys were they were in the trenches together, and some of them don't like each other behind their backs and all this kind. It's just life. It's just the way it breaks down. Yeah, Roy Cohen fan. He told on Vinny Basciano, Vinny Gorgeous, and then that whole thing with Joe Messina and all that. Which Vinny Gorgeous should come home, because what they did there was fucking sickening. They had Joe Messina at co-defendant meetings and everything. While he's wearing a wire, he's cooperating. They built the conspiracy and charged Messina in it. If they wouldn't have charged Messina in it, then it's a different story. But you can't build a conspiracy through a fucking cooperating witness. You cannot do it. You can't even be in conspiracy with a cooperating witness or a cop. You had to be you and somebody else on a legitimate, really breaking the law, not telling each other. And then if they infiltrate that's different. Then you guys would get indicted. But Sammy the Bull, John Panisi. I don't even know John Panisi. Yeah, Sammy the Bull did that time. He did that time for that Arizona stuff. He didn't do he didn't do really no time for that the John Gotti stuff. All he basically was on that was he was in like a little barrack like apartment, like on a military base somewhere. Once they got him out of the jail, you know what I mean? And then just he did, whatever. Till he was done testifying, like 4 years. So he got sentenced to 5 years, did like 4 years, 2 months. Yeah, Sammy the Bull boxing. Imagine that. But yeah, so hey, what's up, Dominic? Good to see you. Hey, Penny. What's up with you? So yeah, I'm thinking it could be somebody. You sent a super chat and it didn't work. I don't know. I'm not sure why it wouldn't. I got a Cash App if you want. I don't even know where that's at. I don't know how to put that up. Banners. Anyway. Yeah, that's the Cash App right there. Now I gotta get back to the comments. So you think rats are putting it out there for the feds to see how everyone on the street reacts. I don't even think that, man. And that's a good point, Carmela. Then they're saying there was 100 G's in there and all that kind of shit, at least 100 G's. And like Dominic made that point too, and you're making the point, like, you're not going to sit there. You know, social clubs or whatever, these are hot spots. They're wired up. They're, you know, you got to watch what you say in them. Why would you bring $100,000 into one of them? For what? That's going to be dropped off at somebody's house, this and that. Even like with, like, if you're really running a real poker game and stuff like that, and you have real players, you don't have the money there. You know what I mean? You might have people, or you might collect the cash. Or a lot of times, then people are on credit, or their Shylocks are right there. You know what I mean? And they'll vouch for them for the money. So they'll give them, $10,000 whatever voucher, whatever, shit like that. So yeah, it just doesn't add up. And I think that, but I don't think. Okay, so Lefty, you said Bernstein. I don't know. Now I know Jeff Nadeau don't make stuff up. I know I don't agree with everything Jeff Nadeau says, but I do know he has people he talks to and stuff like that. Now, do I disagree with stuff he says? Yes, 100%. Like with the Gene Gotti thing, I totally disagree, stuff like that. But I don't. He's not making it up. So you say Bernstein will make stuff up, and like Tom was making a point yesterday. This guy's all the way out in Detroit, this and that, and it's like the timing of it. Why are they reporting to him right away? What they did was, now I don't know what Nadeau did. But it seems like, yeah, mob facts, right on point. The person responsible for spreading the story is Gene. He should be the only one catching heat for this. Yeah, but here's the deal. Here's the deal with that. He should catch the heat, but it's like he's saying something that, to be honest, I believe him. I believe him. I believe he got trolled, though. I believe he got trolled, or somebody's talking about a totally separate thing and it got confused somewhere. I don't think that he came right out and lied. So the way that he kind of gets off the hook on this is he doesn't have a channel that reports like, facts and stuff. He does not a Jeff Nadeau. He's not a James Proctor. He's not a what you would call it, a person like that. Who's the Scott Bernstein, I guess. So he's more of a journalist. He's not a journalist type. So with Bernstein adding in the extra details, and this one confirmed, that one confirmed it. See, the only thing pushing back on it, though, is Dominic, and Dominic's made a lot of good points. And nah, you chill over here, bro. You ain't hijacking the chat. Enjoy yourself, homie. Yeah, fucking John Panisi did 17 years. Who's he? He's got a show or whatever, and he's an older man, right? He's an older man that cooperated or something. He killed a 20-year-old over a girl. He did 17 years because he had no one to tell on. He had no choice to kill. I thought Panisi did tell, though. Or maybe it's the wrong guy I'm thinking of. You think someone's fucking with Gene? That's what I think someone is fucking. That's what I think someone's either fucking with Gene or they just got the whole thing twisted. And now you get the guys who jump on it now. But now they're saying they got their sources that are telling them. Now, is Gene a source? Is Gene a source for Jeff Nadeau? Possibly. And yeah, Lefty, social clubs ain't a good stash spot, especially nowadays, bro. Listen, cash is so scarce in the streets, especially on mid-level. People will know what I'm talking about when I say that. So it's very scarce. So like, you kind of stay on top of that. You know what I mean? You kind of stay on top of that. Cash is very scarce. And Frank, and like that's saying right here, Frank would know. I mean, Frank's family's fucking, come on. I know a lot. Listen, I know a lot of this shit about, especially with them, with the bananas and stuff, because I was the old man Tony Selly. Ace's father. I was his cellie for a long time. Me and him were cool, real tight. So yeah, Frank, he's born into that shit. And like I said, anything over 20,000 is getting dropped. You know? What's up, Shane? Good to see you too. Why is anybody taking Gene's word on it? I mean, because I don't think, but even this, listen, I know he's embellished stuff and all in his interviews and stuff, like when he said he unalived the guy in jail and all shit. Like, I know and then he said some things that didn't add up or something. Yeah, I do know he does that. But I don't think that he would come out with an outright lie like that just to spread a story. So I think someone is either trolling him or there was some type of misinformation. Or maybe he's right. I don't know. But it's just like a whole lot of shit. You'll never actually know unless somebody would come clean and say, oh, yeah, I found it out. I was wrong. And, you know, maybe they would. What's up, JJ? Joey Dimes wore the pizza mask, walked in with a stuffed dog named Weon and stole 2 cheeseburgers. Yeah, fucking, that's funny with that mask. What's up, Mike? With pizza, though, I think he might be in Pennsylvania, but they're saying he's not. Oh, okay, dokie, Mark. Well, that would make sense, Mark. This would make sense. The reason why they said the club was robbed, they don't want to pay the guy who's coming home. It's bullshit. I don't know. See, and then that's another thing. If you had the prison stuff in it, somebody coming home from prison, that Dominic brought up a point. He's like, man, he knows people who came home from prison. I'll tell you what, man. I'm going to be honest. Now, I've never seen a mob guy not go to commissary and shit like that. And there were some with big, big, big money. But what I'm saying is this. From the stuff I hear, how they get treated when they come home, like financially, a lot of them, like that shit ain't right, man. That shit ain't right. They need to start looking out a little bit better. You know what I mean? They're talking small shit, like coming up with $6,000, $5,000 and shit for people when they come. Come on, man. So Lefty said Bernstein makes shit up. Nader doesn't have completely reliable sources. That could be true, especially in certain situations. And so, Carmelo, you agree? You think he's being trolled? I think that he's being trolled too. You know what I mean? Yeah, if anybody's caught, Dominic, anybody's caught, we'd have to go in there. We'd have to get James. I put up a thing. I said Proctor's a suspect. I think Proctor's behind it somehow. Remember, he put out that one thing. He said the bananas are clowns. And then, you know, who knows? He might have said, shit, I'm going to try my luck. Lee done burnt me for so much damn money. Shit, what's this going to hurt? Lee burnt me for so damn much. I see that shit's kicking off with Lee Cole, that wrestling shit too. Them other people were starting to post things.
Keys. Throw away the 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 keys.
Damn. I thought James Proctor was stuck up there. I took the wrong thing down. I didn't kick it from the studio. My bad. Oh, shit. Yeah, so fucking, what's going on, Roy? You all right? Yeah, none of us know nothing about it, Roy. We're just figuring it out. We're just going along. You know, we're not going to say, you know, nobody could ever say, like I said, we'll never know what the truth is. Matter of fact, you might be right. He said he thinks someone's fucking with all these content creators. The story about Bobby Manor passed away. Bobby is free now. Yeah, you're correct. And I'll tell you what, I didn't even know Bobby Manor, who he was. And Jeff, Nadu texted me. He's like, hey, Bobby Manor died. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, who was he? He said he was like the oldest inmate at that time or something. So then it came out that he wasn't dead. Then I did see something on him getting compassionate release or something. So you're right about that. Nobody talks to Gene in the streets. He's a rat. Considering his age and attitude and stuff like that too. But I'm still going to say now, some people probably do. Some people probably do. And like even like with a Dominic or something like that, you think people don't talk? Yes, they do, man. It's the same things like with drug dealers and anything, man. Any street criminals, bro. A lot of times you got to remember these people were friends from the sandbox, and then they don't care that they told on this one. Man, it's all a ruse, bro. I'm telling you. Not all of it, but you know what I'm saying? Not all of it. Yeah, and I don't blame. Yeah, I wouldn't blame neither. I wouldn't blame nobody. Like I said, I don't blame nobody. I don't blame nobody for this, especially if it's Gene getting trolled or just some bad information. But now I do blame them when they add more to it. When they sit there and say, "Yeah, this is 100%," and this person, you know, when they're just rolling off the back of what Gene's saying, and that could be possible, you know. You said Bernstein's a fool. Yeah, I've never watched the guy. I've never watched him. I've never seen a lot of these guys. I've seen them, but don't, you know what I mean? I didn't watch them. Yeah, Frank, there wasn't that kind of loot since the Tony Aiello days. Listen, he told me, man. He told me, he said, my nickname's Commerciante. How the fuck's Commerciante? And you'll know. It's a deal maker. You know what I mean? He said he used to stand outside them spots. Well, you remember back then, Frank, they ran in his dad's house and caught like close to a milli. You remember that? And that was back then. He was like that in the joint. He's always making a deal. What's up, Kev? He said somebody sounds like we'll watch Rob the Mob Starter Rumors. But you live in the OKC, really UK. Yeah. Nah, I would say, I don't know, man. What can I say? You could be right. Roy Cohn fan says he's got to get excited. His job super boring. What's up, Tatone? Good to see you. Yeah, but the truth said Eric is lying about killing someone in jail, coming out with an outright lie to make up a story. No, that situation wasn't like, it was different. Like that, he's trying to pass over, man. He's embellishing some shit. He beat some guy up. You know what I mean? Listen, Gene will do that. Everybody will sometimes do that, especially when. Let me tell you a lot that has to do with that. And people have heard me say this before. And I'm not just talking about the guys who ratted or whatever. Let's just not even worry about that. I'm talking about all associates. Okay. Now, take all associates. I would say a large percentage of them, because they're the ones putting in the work 90% of the time. A large percentage of them like get like a little chip on their shoulder too, where they feel as though they don't get recognized for what they have done and stuff. So they'll like, I guess if they get on there, they might embellish things and stuff like that too. They got a lot of animosity with them. That's the word, animosity. A lot of them, and you know, Frank probably know about that. Not to say Frank did, but you know what I mean. But Frank knows what I'm talking about. Little like jealousy behind the back, even when you get on to all levels and stuff, like they'll snicker behind each other's back, be like, yeah, he thinks he's the boss because it. So you got to remember, you're dealing with that. So people will embellish some things, but like that's a whole different thing than just coming out making up a lie about some social clubs getting robbed. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole thing. What's up, Common Sense? You said no one is running a profitable poker game giving away cheap money. No one will be able to beat the rake or want to play the game like that. Places I play, you need cash or you ain't playing. Yeah, and that's another thing too, Common. That's another thing too. You go in there, it's like all that shit's dead. Just like even booking on the streets, like being a bookie on the streets, you're getting the deadbeats. You know what I mean? You're getting the people who can't put the money up, especially nowadays. I agree with that. I agree with that. No one gets 100 G's coming home from prison. Ah, bullshit. Plenty of people do. Plenty of people do. Trust me. Plenty of people do. Especially like big level people. Yeah, bend over. Look. Yeah, that's what everybody's got a story. You know, and look, I'm not saying Dom's lying. Dom's everything I know Dom said about his situation, I know it to be true. I mean, I've never heard a guy lie. I've never heard him come out and outright lie. I never have. You know what I mean? He's a nutcase. You know what I mean? He flips at times and shit. I'll trip off of him and everything. Give me 1 second. I got to take this call real quick. Hello? Yeah. No, she didn't even text me back. I know, yeah, but text me for everything else, right? You know what I mean? But then I asked Maddie, so I don't know. I'll get it. I'll get it from her. And then she asked. Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, that's you know how your mother is. All right, yeah. I'm gonna lie. I'll call it. I'll post it. Yeah, so but like everybody, like when they sign up for that shit or whatever, you know, I mean, the true story of that whole thing is like that was government corruption from the beginning, man. Their whole thing. Listen, Dominic, what's up, Jim? Dominic and all of them. Now, I know what happened and transpired and everything, but truthfully, if you go back to the beginning of that whole situation, man, like I might do something on that because nobody has done nothing really on their story and really broke it down for the truth that it is. Everybody just points at, oh, this one did this one, and this one did that one. Oh, been there, done that. Yeah, Seth, you saw my interview with Seth Ferrante. The dude's one of the most interesting, intelligent people coming out of the BOP. Much respect to Seth Ferrante. Yeah, that's my man. He sucks at softball, though. I'll tell you that. But yeah, so like Dom and them's story, like everybody knows what transpired. Vinny Gorgeous, Dom wound up testifying on him, and what's up, Christine, and everything like that. And people talk about that kind of shit, right? People talk about that and get too focused on that. Nah, I didn't really hang in pool rooms, Frankie. I hung in bars and strip clubs and shit. So, like, if you really break down their story, think of the government corruption. And if I'm not mistaken, what's up, Roxy? Hey, Ronan, good to see you. If I'm not mistaken, hey, B-Town Patsy. Wasn't Joe Messina the first boss to ever flip, like a real boss? I know some guy wrote a book or something, but like, ain't he like the last big boss or whatever? I don't know, the last Don they called him or something. And that he was a big time dude, you know, goes all the way back to that Donnie Brasco shit and all that, 3 captains and all that. So Joe Messina was a big dude. And if you really think about their case from the beginning, you got the government who Messina is getting over on, making up the story about the prosecutor and all that shit. So Messino's getting over on the government. The government's getting over on everybody by fucking making a conspiracy and putting Messino in the conspiracy and put him in the fucking, co-defendant meetings and shit. It's just like, so they wind up, they're all victims of entrapment by the government being fucking corrupt and by Joe Messina playing the government. That's a crazy story. Yeah, Gene said he had 2 bodies. Yeah. But yeah, so like, yeah, but that's not like coming out with like an outright lie. Like Gene didn't come out with this shit. He's not coming out with no outright lie. And that stuff, you know, a lot of times, dude, the associates, they get a chip on their shoulder, man, because they feel as though I don't know, like shunned kind of or something. You said Scott Bernstein said Scott Bernstein and Jeff Nadeau's only source of the Mexican cooks in the back of the Olive Garden. Mexican cooks in an Italian restaurant. You fear Gene is 100% bipolar and unmedicated. You can tell by his pressured speech. There's one reason he can't stay out of trouble. I don't know about all the medical diagnoses like that. I'll tell you this. He's immature for his age, which I am too. You know what I'm saying? I think I'm almost 10 years older than him. So he's like 40. I'm 49. Yeah, he's immature for his age, as I am. He's worse off than me, though, on that. Especially the way, like, right now he's got that situation going on with the girl and shit like that. And, you know, it's just like, you got to remember when you get older, you got to learn how to age gracefully. You said the place could have been robbed, but it didn't get a bag like it was claimed. I don't think it got robbed at all, though. Oh, yeah, but yeah, okay, the truth, I got you. You're making a good point there. The reason why you'd lie about poker games being robbed is create views for your channel, which is the same reason why you'd lie about unaliving someone. Yeah, but now look where it came from. Gene. I don't think Gene cares. He don't need to make up shit to get views. Let's just say that. Gene Borrello doesn't have to make up things to get views. He's going to get views. You know what I mean? So he doesn't have to do that. You know, if he wants to get views, he'll come out talking about people, you know what I mean? Shit like that. And, you know, people don't watch him. And plus he's always does things in short form. So he's going to get a lot of views no matter what. So that's the difference in that. But, you know, I don't think Gene would come out like that. I don't think so. And then him and Dom are arguing. Not arguing, but like how Dominic said, they're going back and forth. Like, nah, man, this happened. No, it didn't happen. Yeah, it did. You know what I mean? Someone recommended you watch Mobland. Are you talking about Mob Facts or Mobland? I know Mob Facts got good ass channel. Yeah, you wish they let Vinny out. I think he's got a good shot. I think he's got a good shot to get out. Listen, I'm telling you, by fucking law. Look, besides all the fucking, besides all the other bullshit, give me a break. Look at what they did. You got to remember, everybody says, Joe Messina, he could have told all this and that. Let me tell you something. He was out of shit to tell. He had to make up the prosecutor thing. He didn't have not much to tell. His underboss told everything. He got convicted. If you guys remember, he went to trial. Everything came out. He got convicted. So everything was known. He was really kind of not that special to him for anything new. So that's where the whole thing comes in. That's where that whole prosecutor thing comes in. Frank said, loan sharks mostly always got deadbeats. They had cash, they go to banks unless they were buying drugs, selling short-term loans. Yeah, that's true, Frank. That's 100% true, you know? Oh, and Eric Pizza over here. I don't know what you're talking about. You were robbed at the DMV? I think everybody's been robbed there. And you know something, Ducks? I'm going to tell you something. You're making a hell of a point there, and I'm going to tell you why, too. I'm going to throw a little twist in that. Duck says the guy who just came home isn't going to go to a social club where he could be photographed with other felons even to pick up money. A smart guy will say, meet me in New Jersey at a diner or something. Bingo. But also, you got to throw this into it. All these guys coming home, let me explain something. They're not home. They're in a halfway house. They're in a halfway house, or if they've been in a halfway house a while, they're under some type of home confinement or something, which because they're giving these guys 3 years now in the halfway house, like they did with Vito, like they did with Ronnie G, like they're doing all these guys. So that's a good point, Ducks. They're not going to no goddamn social clubs. They're still under the custody of the Bureau of Prisons. Now you'd go and get that money to, you know, somewhere where they can get it. You know what I mean? That's even like you're absolutely right, because like even when I've came home before and I'm in the halfway house, we got a 7-day blackout, and like if I got people got some money for me or something like that, I have people pick it up for me, and I get to it when I got to it. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's a very good point. That's a very good point. Yeah, drug dealers are good loan shark clients. Yeah, because they're going to flip the shit. You know what I mean? So they're not worried about paying that interest. They're not worried about paying no interest. Their profit's going to kill the interest. You know what I mean? But that's true. You say that same story. A lot of informants use, but not to be mean. Mancuso was smart to take his rackets. He knew Dom was going to flip. How can you say that, though? How can you say he knew he was going to flip? How do you know? I mean, see, I don't know how all their shit works. I hear it, but I do hear, like you said, the same story. I've heard that story plenty of times and stuff. Truth of the matter is, people don't like to say it, but they didn't want to do the time. They didn't want to do life in prison. This situation with life in prison. You know. What's up, Hellcat? And that's what it is. Not many bras at pool rooms. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Frank, you say he was the first boss. Yeah, so think about that story. The first boss ever flipped. The feds did it. They broke the law. You can pull up conspiracy law right now. It takes 2 or more people. One of them cannot be a cop or an undercover informant or whatever. You know what I mean? Yeah, some guy did write a book, right? Dominic, back in the day, some guy, a mob guy, he left the mob and he wrote a book or some shit. Yeah, Gas Pipe. I know Gas Pipe. I don't know how the Arco was, but I know Gas Pipe was. He was the underboss. Vic was the boss. Vic was in Big Sandy before I got there. Yeah, Don don't like that guy Mancuso. That's for sure. That is for sure. Fucking yeah, and I met another guy that was but I only met him for a second. I think he was like an acting boss or something. Louis Didone. And I met him when I was on lockup at Allenwood Low. I had to get an MRI on my neck. So he was at Allenwood Penitentiary, but we had to go to this it was like a bus, like a van that had the MRI machine in it, and it pulled out back of Allenwood Medium. So we go there, and I met him there. He was getting an MRI also. Guy Louis Didone. We knew a mutual person, Ray Argentina. That's how we were talking. Roxy said the thugs around there hang out at Tractor Supply on 13, rough bunch. Yes, I met that guy. I think he was like an active boss or something, Lucchese's. I wound up finding out. The Bananas had informants before the 2000 Anthony Mira, Bill Bonanno. There's another old timer that you can't recall the name. Yeah, I don't know. I do know they said that they had the least amount or something, or the last one's the flip or something. Yeah, Yes, he did know that. And he actually that was a fucking heavy play that he did. That was a heavy play that he did. I think somebody tried to follow in his footsteps. We won't get into that. But it actually worked out for him in another way. If the associates are young or up and coming, they're used to instant gratification, whereas older generations were more patient. They do something more rewarding like that. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. And like some people get favoritism and stuff. You know what I mean? Sudakasa, thank you for becoming a new member. You say, El Brogo, Gene Clout chases off Joey Merlino. Merlino's the only real Italian in the genre. The lesser fake rats, bitches. Yeah, Joey's the real deal. Joey's the real deal. And that's for sure. And he's doing good with his, yeah. And then they said some stupid shit. Like, yo, listen, I see somebody make a comment. That's the only reason why I'm going to comment on this. I guess Gene put out a thing that said Joey had security with him in Boca Raton. Which I don't believe that, but whatever. He might have people around. He probably has some friends around him. Shit. But somebody in the comments actually had the nerve to say, "Yeah, and you could see at opening day of this cheesesteak place, he had security there." Yes, security was there. Yes, it was. It wasn't a whole bunch of security. It's one security guy, and he was right there at the door that goes directly into the kitchen. And there was only a few of us allowed to walk through there. That's why security was there, so people couldn't just walk in. It wasn't like protecting nobody, you know what I'm saying? Now, obviously, if something popped off, you know, and there was thousands of people there, so. Why would they tell everyone they got robbed? Do I think they'd be embarrassed? I don't know if they'd be embarrassed, but I don't think they'd be telling a bunch of people. I mean, especially if you're going to retaliate or something, you know, it's not everybody's business. I mean, it's the people's business whose money it was and who's going to handle it. That's it. I agree with that, the truth. But yeah, so fucking they got a crazy story though, that whole Joe Messina thing. What'd you say, Doogie? Panisi's grandma. Okay, so yeah, that guy is a little bit off. That's the one who always says he's getting hacked or something. I've heard people talk about him. I've never watched his stuff though. I get them confused sometimes. According to Mancuso's letter from jail, it was common belief that Cicale would flip. Maybe they thought he would, and they were right. You know, I'm not saying nobody's wrong or nothing. I'm just saying, like, how would you, you know, why? Got you. Now, this makes sense. This makes sense. And listen, people could say whatever, but there's greed plays into this too. This is a point. Modfax said, Michael knew Dom was never getting out of prison unless he flipped, so he took his rackets. Bam, there you go. Look at that move there. Look at that move there. Okay, say Dom doesn't flip. He just goes away forever. He took his rackets. What's he really going to do? He's gone forever. Now he does flip. Yeah, that's why I took his racket. So you're winning. You're winning right there. Just like the Joe Messina move right there. Go into court, go to trial. If I blow, I'm just going, whoa, come on, let's go. You know, yeah, that's a good point, Malfax. That's a very good point. What's up, Primo? Oh, you posted it? Yeah, I'll definitely go check it out. I'll definitely go check it out. But that makes a ton of sense. What's up, JR? You? What's going on with you? Yeah, some of you can't really see it because it's handwriting, probably. But yeah, yeah. So much of that, just the streets, and so much, and especially the mob. So much of that is mind games. You know what I mean? It's so much like everything is just like scheming. Everything's just scheming other people. You know what I mean? Think about that. People tell you, hey, let's go out to dinner. They call you up. Let's go. Hey, you got to meet us here or something. You got worried about getting shot in the head because of something. You know what I mean? Even if you didn't do nothing, it's just always people wanting to take position. Anytime money is involved and greed and stuff, it's just crazy. Jason says it didn't happen. You're talking about the robberies. I don't think it happened either. Dom said it didn't happen, so I don't think so. And Dom's the type of person. What's up, Thornblades? You're pretty sure Dom would know. Well, and here's another reason. Dom's the type of person who would follow up on it. Because he's not going to, you know what I'm saying? He's going to want to know. He's not going to want to be wrong. And if he was wrong, he would explain why. He's just that type of person. So, but I just think it's so much bullshit. And like I'm thinking, it could be a troll, man. 2004 was the first time Banana got testified. So that was the Messina thing, right? So that's when he got convicted. Roy Cohen fan, thanks for the donation. The more important question is whether Gene is the new boss. If so, Eric is getting sacked. I don't know. Gene who? Gotti? I don't think he's a boss. I don't think he's doing nothing. You figure they all got together, made up a rumor to get spread around by all the content creators as a joke. Who, you think the mob guys did? Or just some troll? Well, hey, what's up, Dave? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. They got another thing. You said Panisi puts out good content? Yeah, I'll have to check them out sometimes when I got time. You said, in your opinion, if they took care of Don financially, he wouldn't have read it. I don't know. We just know what happened. That's all we can say. What's up, Sal? What's going on? Yeah, Dom has a temper. See, he's I guess Jeff went in there yesterday. Jeff Nadeau went in there and said something to him and set Dom off. I was like, if I ever see you. Like, man. But see, I like that's the thing though. Like, you gotta understand, like, people get what, man. I could tell he's got a fuse. He's got a fast fuse, man. You can tell with him. And then you gotta think you got a motherfucker who's done, put work in the streets, you know what I mean, did time, whatever. He's really been in the mob, been in all this shit, and you got people talking shit to him. It's not a good mix. You think it was an elaborate plan from some wise guys to prove how the bullshit starts rolling? I could see that if they give a fuck about YouTube, but also this. Why would you start a rumor like that just to get, because the police could hear that. The police done heard about it, so then they might start watching or something. I don't think that anybody committing crimes would do that. It's kind of going to get yourself looked at for nothing. Who's that? 2T Brett. Where's the pants when it comes to the channels he's hosts? I don't know who that is. Yeah, Dom Raditz didn't do a life bid. I agree. Oh, the truth's debating itself. You thought Ralph Natalio was the first Boston flip? Who's that? That's the guy from Philly, right? Good night, Doogie. Good night. Good. Glad you could come in. What's up, Ronnie? Yeah, so then they had some other guy. I want to play his video real quick since all this striking's going on. Some other guy came back to the Troll Army. I guess he's friends with the Troll Army and he knows them. But Assassinino or something. I guess he's been around for a while. But he put out a thing about them striking channels. He definitely did. Fucking he was talking about the Angel and Mr. X and Jim and all them. Because a lot of fucking channels been getting struck. And I guess this guy's been he always breaks down shit that goes on around here. 52 topics except oh, you're talking about that, Brett? Oh, Brett's cool. Yeah, that's a good show. They got a good show. They definitely do. That's because they keep it real. They just don't embellish nothing. They don't fucking, Frank's been around all kind of fucking people. Frank was like born into like a gang. You know what I mean? Like a Crip or something. He's like a Crip. You know what I mean? He's really born into that shit. They're from Italy. So, and all the ways, and just being a kid, just around everything that was going on with all the coffee shops and all that. It's crazy because I've heard the stories. You know what I mean? I've heard them from the old man, about the coffee shop and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, you're right, Dominic. They don't indulge in the bullshit. That takes over most channels. Yeah, it happened to me a little bit. I know. I definitely know. You're right about that. You're right about that because you got people out here, man, who just that's what their channel's about. Look, to fight. They don't know nothing. They've never been through nothing. They don't know nobody or anything like that. So what are they doing on here? They don't got no experiences. They've never been in prison. They've never met nobody. They've never been in the streets. So then you're either going to be a journalist or you're going to be a fucking troublemaker. You know what I mean? Or a little bit of mix of both. And that's just the facts. And I'm going to tell you another thing that happened on this genre, why this genre got like that, is because of trolls controlling the narrative. That's true. Hey, come here. That's how that's how you look at this whole genre. And let me explain it. This is about crime. This is about treachery. This is about real life street shit, real life mob shit, if you want to call it mob genre or whatever. Okay, so you're going to have all that shit. You're going to have cooperation. You're going to have this. You're going to have that. So to get all the stories out and get anything correct and, discuss whatever and everything like that and have these shows and, do it right, everybody can't be at everybody's throat about this and that. So you had trolls coming in telling people how to run their shows. Oh, if you interview this one, that means you're a rat too. No, it does. No, it doesn't. Oh, this one. Okay, so then everybody who's sitting in prison around people who fucking told, whether they be black, white, Puerto Rican, whatever. You're sitting around there. Why aren't you whacking them upside their head with something? Why not? Why ain't you doing nothing about it? That's the key to it. People can't, you can't let trolls control the narrative. And that's what happened over here. That's why everybody's a rat. Yeah. And then you get it. And listen, you see how the shit rolls downhill. Rats and Ripper all make excuses for ratting, but it's because they're cowards. Yeah. But here's the truth. All of that shit infected this whole genre. Look at the striking channels. Look at the people you had talking about rats and stuff like that, and look what happened to them. Look at Lee Cole. Tried to send Gene Borrello back to prison. That guy, Jeff Lohman or whatever. Guy Jeff Lohman wrote Judges. What's up, Anthony? Trying to send people to prison. You know what I mean? On YouTube. And this is because of narratives. Now the striking channel narrative, that's taken over. That's taken over. So it's a tough genre to be in. And like a lot of these people don't have nothing to talk about. So they'll talk about sexual degeneracy. They'll talk about other people. They'll attack people's families. That's what these people do. You know, you just got to learn the whole fucking, you got to learn the whole grift of it. Yeah, Nicole, but listen, that's another thing. You can't have guys, listen, you can't have guys like Lee Cole and them type of guys. You got Lee Cole reporting on the mob and telling people what ratting is and what ratting is. Listen, we're going to play that. I'm going to play Assassinino's video. He don't strike channels. So go subscribe to him. I don't know how to put the link in there, but Michelle, if you do, can you? I don't know the guy, but he just came out and I seen them. Well, he didn't just come out. He's been out longer than me. Let me just say. Okay. But I guess he didn't come out for a while. But we're going to watch this thing. And Michelle, if you could drop his link for him, I greatly appreciate it. So here's the thing. He breaks it down.
Now Assassinino. How come there's no video?
Well, I've been busy, you know. I have a career, my family, you know all about that. Those are the two things that your degenerate Rat Squad friends are dying to get the info on, you know, so they can torture both. But you're right. There should be a video. So let me just get this disclaimer out the way, and then we'll get right into it.
Now, this is the fair use thing. Yeah. So here it goes.
Well, hello there. Hope everyone's having a great day. Today, we're going to take a look at the Angel Braddy show and how much of a hypocrite they all are. All right. She constantly calls people like me faceless trolls. But it's funny how she has someone who does not.
Okay, so he must have been in the troll army or something. So here he goes explaining.
Show his face on her show. And he's going to teach a class on how to strike and remove channels. Yes, on the Angel Gotti show. So I know you all waited long enough. So let's get right into this here.
Now, if you remember, I said this weeks ago that they were teaching a class.
Angel,
These are
you should
videos.
report that because it does look a lot like they're tagging.
Lee Cole, you should report that.
We're
Really
that
good.
Angel to get that off of there. You should have them up and get that off of there.
I really should.
All right, now we're going to see how Angel endorses and allows this to happen on her channel. No constitution whatsoever. Man, this would have never happened a year ago. It's just amazing to me how people just flip. Just flip, flop, flippity, floppity, flippity, flop.
Yeah, so in the bottom right-hand corner, there's 3 dots. And then you click report. And
Yeah, he talks. There's 3 dots. There's 3 dots.
let me find something that's a video so I can walk you through it. Let me find it. I can't do it with this. Like any AI that they have, like Grumpy Italian has with Angel Gotti, and they're trying to make somebody look fat or somebody, changing or making
look fat. Like, come on, man. All over that type of shit. Stop.
them sing like a clown or anything like that.
I mean, are you people kidding me? Seriously. This, please, I want to bang my head against the wall. I said this so many times. I don't understand.
Well, don't worry, because faceless Mr. X over here, he's going to explain it in full detail. And Angel, none of us could understand.
What you do is you go into the video and you click the three dots and you click report. It's under, so the first one, it's under legal issue, and then you choose one, and it's the second to bottom one, BDE, legal issue, privacy issue, and then you go through the 5 prompts, which, it's
crazy. I don't even explain the whole thing. That's crazy. So move up here. Like you see, like.
And you got to send in your driver's license to prove that it's you, and it'll be gone.
You kidding me? Why would you do that? This, please, I want to bang my head against the wall. I said this so many times. I don't understand.
Okay, be patient. The masked marauder over here, he just got started. Be patient. I'm sure you'll catch on.
So what people like a Grumpy Italian are doing is they're taking it down when they get the privacy notice, so YouTube doesn't get them, and then re-upload it. But what I did was we got into a conversation with YouTube and said, well, here's what they're doing. They're taking it down now.
How the hell do you have a conversation with YouTube? First off, and second off, Jesus Christ. Who has time to do all that?
They're bragging that they're putting it back up before you could do anything.
All right, follow me on this one. They're looking to strike Grumpy over jokes, right?
Yes.
But they didn't strike the weirdo from the UK, the purple nose dude, the sausage lover. They didn't strike him. He had thumbnails up every day about Angel and her family. How about the degenerate from Florida? No, he never got struck. He had a thumbnail up 3 times a day. Like, use this video.
Yeah, and the reason why these people never got struck is because it wasn't in this community that's striking channels like that, but it got brought over here.
Oh, as an example. So what? I took a couple things Angel said in the previous show.
That.
If you thought it was juicy so far, wait till you get to this next part. Just look at the lengths they go to in order just to rat people out. Over words, over jokes and words. It's amazing.
And the one thing that I always say, even though I'm not, is I say this is making fun of a protected community, LGBTQ. If you're autistic or whatever. Even if you're not LGBTQ or not autistic, if they're making fun of that community, you could place that. That's what'll get hurt.
That shit. That shit is ridiculous. DM you the link. Okay, I just gotta send you. I'll send you the video or whatever. Yeah, the video link. Hang on. Let me do this real quick. Yeah, that shit's just like, I don't know. The guy's right. The guy's right. Nino's right. I just texted to you. I have somebody texting me back too about somebody. Yeah, but that's the crazy part. That's the crazy part. Like they really did. What's up, Sean? They really did start like a whole striking thing. Now, here's the deal. Does the EBT pay for all Ripper's bots for all channels? I don't know. I don't think so. But I tell you what, I think his channels got struck too. I was about to talk about that. So that whole thing, them teaching that shit, looks like it kind of backfired on them too. You know what I mean? It was, that was that. Because people are going to be like, shit, Imagine how many people probably struck him. And then his whole channel. See, that's the thing, too. His whole channel was nothing but, for 3 years, degeneracy. Oh, his channel's back, JR? I didn't know he got his channels back. I don't know. I don't watch him. I just heard he got them took. So, you know, and you would figure like the whole however many years is just degeneracy. You know what I mean? Fighting. Name me one show that he's probably ever done that's not fighting. Angel's Disappointment. Yeah, I don't know. You know, she's just like I said, she's an older lady. Oh, he's jumping around like orangutan in the rubber room earlier. Okay, yeah, I didn't know. She's an older lady. She's never wrong. You know what I mean? It's just too much. That's just too much. Yeah, she's just like, it's too much over there. Then you got the Lee Cole with all the bullshit. Lee Cole, he's just he's behind it. That's the thing. He does all his dirt behind the scenes and gets caught. And then that's why it looks like he's being attacked all the time. He comes right, why are you attacking me? His breath. He's got some bad breath. You know what I mean? You could tell. Now he's dying. I hope he's not dying. You know what I mean? But I don't think he is. It's just he plays that role. He does a lot of fucked up shit behind the scenes. A lot. He did some shit to me. He thinks I don't know. He thinks I don't know about it. But they always got, listen, remember one thing. There's always going to be my advantage. And here's why. I haven't been on here for 4 years. I can tell. All I got to do is go back and watch old videos, and I can see who I can get to infiltrate this one. It's very easy, you know. Hey, what's up, Barbara? Good to see you. Yeah, Lee ain't got no teeth, but yeah, so it's very easy for me to do that, especially all the bad shit that they've done to people. They got a lot of enemies. You know what I mean? All these people got a lot of enemies. Lee Cole's a douche. His jokes are horrible. He stutters now. He tries to piggyback off Jim's joke. Yes! Thank you. That's why I said they were giving him the boot a while back. Thank you, Bendover. That's what I was talking about. Yes. He will ruin it. It just never lands when he tries to piggyback off of Jim's jokes. Even Jim will just sit there like, shh. He'll ruin Jim's shit. If Jim ever says anything halfway, you know, entertainer say, Lee Cole, whoop, boom, crashes right into it. Yeah, Lee Cole, and now he's got them wrestling guys on his ass. They're on his ass. He schemed up some shit. Oh, thank you, Dave. Thanks for the donation. Treats for the dogs, definitely. I tell you what, man, the one little Hazel, she's a monster, man. She eats. Come here, Hazel. Come here. Come on, man. She's so great. She's a little, that's all she does. She wants to eat and eat and eat. And then I got to stand there and watch her because she'll try to take the other dog's food. She's like that. And she'll fight and everything. Like she gets tough. She gets real tough. Come here. You're still wet from the pool. And here's Muggsy. Look at her. She looks like a dope fiend. Look at her face. All right, get down. All right, lay down, big boy. That's wrong. Yeah. She's, man. Now I got them up. They're playing with each other and shit. They don't make noise. But yeah, they're wild. They're fun though. They're cool. I've been fucking with the dogs for a few days now. What did you say? You think she'll be? I'm blocking you for that. Don't come in here and make no jokes about Angel and motorcycle and helmets or nothing like that. And Michelle didn't know, so Yeah, Biddy Madelone. Yeah, don't come in here talking no shit like that. My chat. Yeah, Michelle. If you ever see anything like that, like I'll tell you. Well, I can say it now because everybody just saw it. But Michelle, if you ever see anything like this pertains to Angel Gotti and anything about dirt bikes, mini bikes, motorcycle helmets, anything like that, just block the person. You know, because they're just where that is a scumbag. You said the truth. You only got to wear a Browns jacket on this side of Lake Erie. Thank you, Renita, for the cash app. Thanks a lot. Yeah, but why? What does it mean? It's about her brother. Her brother got it had that accident when he was a little boy, like I think 12 years old, and on a mini bike, he got hit by a car, and people talk about that and make up memes and names, and that's why they'll do stuff like that, like how that comment had she should be an advocate for whatever. Yeah, so people will try to put that in chats and stuff like that. Yeah, that's scumbag shit. And nah, you ain't gonna be in here doing that. Yeah, but that's what I'm talking about. People doing that to now. But yeah, so yeah, but these Cleveland Rocks, they had they had a strip club there, Christie's or whatever. It's real popular. I don't know if it's still there. Athletes and all were going there, NBA players and everything. Oh, you said Lee brought Cornelius Brown's jacket at auction. Proctor Brody it from Lee. Did they really get that jacket? I think I know what you're talking about. And John Gotti Jr., like a documentary about him, some guy was wearing like a Cleveland Browns starter jacket, but not the puffy starter jacket, like the baseball jacket, of the Cleveland Browns. If that's what you're talking about. They bought that at auction for what? Who's my favorite rock band ever? Shit. Damn. Motley Crue. Shit. You had Motley Crue. You had Guns N' Roses. You had Ozzy Osbourne. First concert I went to was Ozzy Osbourne, White Lion, and Vixen. Vixen was like a girls group. But Jesus, back then you had Guns N' Roses. Guns N' Roses, Appetite for Destruction. That was a good album. Aerosmith was all right. Striper. Yeah, I remember Striper. I wasn't a big fan of theirs. But damn. Remember what you call Poison. Did I get into country music when I was like, no. I like some country songs though. Obviously I'm more like hip hop music because it's my era, but like I like all kind of music. You know what I mean? I like all kind of music. I like when Metallica, Led Zeppelin. I remember Led Zeppelin. I actually like some of the shit where they'll combine it, like take some of that old rock music, put in. Kind of the first people who did that was Aerosmith and Run DMC. Remember Walk This Way? Yeah, Rat. Tesla, I didn't really know nothing about them. Def Leppard. Yeah, didn't Def Leppard got the didn't the drummer have one arm or some shit? Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes. Temptations. Yeah, all that shit's that's that cool slick shit. That's a back in the day R&B shit. Poison, yeah. Poison. They weren't bad. Twisted Sister was before Motley Crue. Cinderella, yeah, Cinderella. They're from Philly. Now that you say that, JR, I thought they were from somewhere close because I think they used to live like somewhere in Maryland, in Ocean City, Maryland or something. Or one of them might have been from there. But it was definitely somewhere close. I forgot all about them. You know? Hall and Oates. Hall and Oates, I remember that. Daryl Hall and John Oates. That was a little bit before my time, but what was their song? They had like a big song. Oh yeah, someone trying to auction. Yeah, I seen that shit. They auction off John Gotti letters, all that shit. Sell his wine, all that shit. For a lot of money. That's crazy. That's why I say he's the smartest boss. In my mind, he was the smartest one. Because if you play by the rules of their rules, especially in them times, Sammy Hagar or David Lee Roth. Oh, I like David Lee Roth. If you play by the rules of John Gotti, Vincent DeChin, all them guys, you're going to die in prison, which they did. Okay? But now, who lived life better and whose name is still ringing and still worth a lot of money? It's John Gotti. It's John Gotti. You can't sell Vincent DeChin's robe. Imagine, listen. Like, imagine how much you could get for a John Gotti suit. Like, if Angel and them or any of them sold one of them suits, they get over $100,000 auctioning that shit off. Guaranteed. Guaranteed over $100,000. Guaranteed over $100,000. The Chin's robes hanging in a museum. Yeah, where's it at? The Mob Museum down there in Vegas. I've seen that place. I walked by it. I didn't go in. Oh yeah. John Gotti's a fucking legend. That's for sure. Yeah, I've been there. Mob Facts, but I didn't go in. I was down in Vegas. I walked by there. There's something across the street I was at. But yeah, fucking that dogs are playing now. Yeah, these dogs are fun. They're cool. Did you guys see that shit where the bikers beat up the fucking a black dude? And look, this is fair use. I'm gonna show it to you. Yeah, what's up, Bobby Fingers? Gotti had a car. Yeah, I heard that wasn't even Gotti's car or something. Angel said it wasn't. Some little car. I'm gonna show this video real quick. It's off of Instagram or something. I got it. There's this black dude gets beat up by some outlaw bikers in a bar, but now they're saying something's over a tab. Then there's another story to it. But here it is, if you guys ain't seen this. This is in Gary, Indiana, I believe. And then you hear while the guy's getting beat up, you hear them saying, like, get that N-word or whatever. You do hear that, but you guys will see it. Here it is right here. So you hear them all yelling. Hang on. But you hear it right there. He said the N-word. But now are them people in the fight? But it seems like is it just the bikers or is it the other people too? Clubhouse is crazy. What do you guys think of that? We can look at it again. So that's Outlaws. Now, I seen in the comments of this. Now, you never know if the person's lying, but a person's saying they know the story. And I guess, hey, come on. Bugsy, stop doing that. Come on. So I guess somebody was was there, or they're saying so. They're saying now the black guy went up, and the one of the bikers' wives works at the behind the bar, and the black guy went up and to order a drink or something, and the biker took it as he was flirting with his wife. So the bikers kept putting beers on his tab, on the black guy's tab, without knowing. So when the black guy gets there, you know, he probably had 3 beers, domestic beers, and he fucking his tab's over $100. So he was complaining about it. So then that's what led to the fight. That's what's in the comment. But it was outlaw bikers or whatever. Yeah, I'm not a fan of jumping people either. Oh yeah, and I know what you're saying. Blacks say anti-white stuff. Yeah, everybody does it. Like, I'm not doing that. I'm just showing you guys because, yeah, now you can leave in reverse. Yeah, that I was thinking of that scene. Listen, not about this. I was thinking of that scene. Now you can leave from that Bronx Tale, right? And Dominic did a video on it. Okay, but you know who I was thinking about in that scene? I was thinking that's Loman. That's, you know how he said he's got the banana social club or whatever? That's him fucking boom, comes in, and yeah, that's another thing too. Thornblades, that was a 1%er bar, you know, so you gotta be aware of where you're at. Now listen, because it's fucked up. Like, you know what I mean? No matter which way the story is or whatever, you know, it is some racial shit, right? But it happens the other way too. You know, that's just the world that we live in, that we've always lived in. There's certain neighborhoods you can't go into if you're white. There's certain neighborhoods black people shouldn't go into. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. That still exists till this day. I know it's really not like that as much, but there still is places. I remember we had a place in the city called McCabe. It wasn't that far from Greenmount Avenue. Actually, it's where Tupac lived. They go Cater Avenue or something. Well, anyway, I was messing with a chick up there. And she was a mixed chick. And they didn't like that shit. Like, the blacks didn't like that shit. They shot at my car and everything in that neighborhood. Then when I went to some people about it on the other side that I knew, they actually told me. I just thought it was some street bullshit. They said, no, up there they're racist. They don't like white people. It's that, well, white dudes or whatever. And that's how it was. No, that's not Cherry Hill. Cherry Hill's is over there. That's Cherry Hill's Southwest Baltimore, West Baltimore, all that shit. It's in East Baltimore. It's right there off Greenmount Avenue, like Greenmount 34th and everything. Waverly's right there. It's up York Road. Old York or whatever. Old York and Cater or something. Yeah, so that shit still happens. That shit still happens. Like, we had neighborhoods that were like that were white, like Hamden. Hamden's one of the best neighborhoods in the United States of America now. And top 10 neighborhood. It's all yuppies and shit really now. But it was like a racist neighborhood in this Baltimore City. They had a school, Robert Poole or something, I think it was. And when they bust in black people, they flipped the bus while they were in it. While they were fucking in it. So yeah, so it's not like that anymore. But like how Thornblade said, like, you know, you gotta be aware of where you're going. Camden, New Jersey. Yeah, I heard a lot of New Jersey's fucked up. I've been up there to a strip club. It was wild. And you know, Atlantic City and shit. But Northern Liberty's the most expensive and posh places in Philadelphia right now. But yeah, Kensington's right across the street. Patrick, hey, let me tell you something. Philadelphia and Baltimore are so similar in that way. So similar. It's like it's like a mirror. The houses and everything. Houses and everything. We'll have a house right here on North Streeter Street, which you can get for $5,000, and all the rest of them are boarded up. And then on South Streeter Street, you're not getting into nothing less than $400,000, shit like that. So that's just how it is. That's how it is in Baltimore. And that's why they're fucked up cities too. That's why we got problems in them cities. Because think about what that's doing. You're really cutting out the working class. Not saying working class can't afford $300,000 or $400,000, but what I'm saying is that working class people, if they're going to pay that kind of money, they're going to go out to the county, have their own driveway. They're not going to live in the city. The city will be for like young rich people going to school and fucking just got money, and a bunch of them living there, you know, shit like that. Renting out the house for $4,500 a month, you know, $5,000 a month, shit like that. Well, that's how that goes. All right, guys, we've been on for an hour and a half. Thank everybody for donating, for becoming members, for the cash apps, for everything like that. Thank you guys for coming in. Make sure you smash that like button, and I will see you guys tomorrow. All right, Michelle. Thank you.